Hey viewers, welcome to Chunner Checks It Out. My name's Chunner, and in this video, I'm going to be watching Touring After the Apocalypse, episode 12. In the last episode, we were able to make it to where the three prefectures meet, Saitama, Gunma, and Tochigi, where it was in the city and you were able to easily walk across it. We also went to Yoshimi 100 Caves, and we also maybe met some aliens. So I'm wondering what's going to happen in this episode. Is this going to be the last episode of the season? And if we're going to figure out what actually happened during the apocalypse. I don't know, but yo, let's check it out.
焚き火っていくら見てても飽きないよね。何時間でもこうしていられるよ。特に山でのキャンプ。
It is really nice looking at the campfire.
明日はこのままヴィーナスラインを走っていくつもり。標高平均1400メートル。霧ヶ峰あたりまで行けるといいな。
Kirigamine. Heidi had a long day.
後で寝よ。見て。富士山、綺麗。一日でも長く行けるところまで。ね、一緒に。
Ishoni. So Yoko and her sister are riding together here. Was that a premonition?
セローとセローの共演ゲット。
Does Seto mean goat in Japanese? That makes sense. You're an off-road bike, so you're kind of like a goat going off-road up in the mountains. I could see that. Is it December? I feel like it was just April. Although I don't know how time passes during this show. Traffic control zone could be closed due to high levels of rain, 20 millimeters per hour or more. Here's my ruler. 20 millimeters would be about just under an inch, 3/4 of an inch. So let's just round that up to an inch. So you're doing 1 inch per hour. That's kind of a lot. 80 millimeters. You could have up to 4 inches. Let's just round that down to 3 inches of water cumulative, which is like that much water. If you're right at the water table here, you're at 3 inches of water. Could be bad.
それに道路が凍っちゃうから凍上現象って言って、こういう地域の道路が損傷しやすい。なるほど。
Frost and water.
整備する人もいないし、仕方ないよね。
And you get some icy road. Because they're up in the
名前
mountains.
通り、陽子前。前？
Oh, there's a rock. Rockfall. Why would they turn back? Are they going somewhere just up to the mountains and then come back?
とうとう通行止め。崖崩れだって。やめた方がいいと思う。
Tea house. See if we have some vending machines at the tea house.
の絶景が見たかっただけなのに。
The Venus line.
360度の大パノラマをお手軽に見られる絶景。三峯山。三峯山？
Mount Mitsumine.
ここから30分で山頂に行けるって。すごい！行きたい！
Going for a hike.
じゃあ富士山見えるか勝負。負けた方が洗濯当番1週間だよ。いいよ。三峯山。
Sancho.
標高1887メートル。
You know, I'd imagine that trail is not maintained. Maybe you're above tree line. It looks like they're kind of starting to get above tree line. So potentially, even though it's not maintained, there's probably maybe some animals that use that trail as well. So it could still be in use. Otherwise, if you're below tree line, might get a little overgrown. But yeah, I think they're above tree line. So yeah, the trail could easily still be that well maintained. That's kind of cool. That's you. I've never seen that before. Brocken Spectre.
影が映るすごく珍しい現象。気象条件が揃わないと見られない。
The weather conditions are met.
すごくラッキーなんだね。あ、消えちゃう。
Blowing away the fog. Clears up now. Is that... Look right here. I feel like there's some active volcanoes or something happening in this show. We even saw it in the sea where there were kind of two smoke plumes rising. One was gray and the other one was white like this. Interesting what happens after the apocalypse. Sorry, I keep going back. I've never been there when I went to Japan, but I know that there's a kind of tourist attraction, and a lot of anime I know use this location, and it's on the ocean, and it's this beach that has, it seems like very little water, or I think it's a beach. I don't think it's a lake. I think it's the ocean, and very little water goes into this place, and it seems like it's very still. And I'm not sure how often this happens, but it seems like it's kind of a cloudy looking place, kind of like this. And this location, since the water is so low and very still, you can see the reflection of the clouds. So it's kind of like you're walking on the clouds if you were to walk around in that location. And so you kind of see the top here would be clouds like this, and then the bottom is almost like clouds. This almost looks like a similar kind of location. You know, I'm assuming that this probably happens in this location, and I wonder if it's an often event, or, you know, it might happen for just a few weeks out of the year type of time. Very interesting. Oh, and they can see the sea. Fuji. Fuji's active. Is Fuji active? Here's another thing I never noticed before, but was Yoko always wearing this little penguin bird looking pin? Or is that like a unicorn or a whale? There's a whale. Can almost look like a Pokemon as well. It's probably a bird. So they kind of circumnavigated Mount Fuji Museum. Ah, Nara. When I went to Japan, we visited Nara, and this is exactly what it was. There were deer everywhere, and there were these stands here in Nara. There's a bunch of these little stands and real buildings and shops, but also these kind of like pop-up stands. And they were all selling these kind of like cracker looking things. And the deer were just so human broken in that, I mean, this is what you do is you go to Nara and you buy these crackers and you feed the deer. This is literally Nara. She's just thinking about all the places that she could go. She does always seem like she was by herself so far. We haven't seen anything different. So I'm really wondering if there are other people there or if it's just Airi and Yoko. I keep going back in this episode. Airi, oh, and this reflection here. This is fantastic. Look, there's a reflection here of Airi, but she's standing on these milk crates to brush her teeth. She literally doesn't have to stand. I mean, you're kind of high here if you're above the sink level. So I'm not sure exactly why she needs to stand on this milk crate to get access to the sink. She could just be standing on this rug here or the floor. And this building has power. So is it run on a backup generator? Or is this back at the shelter? This must be the shelter. Are they back at the shelter now? I thought that they were up on this mountain. And then, so maybe after they finished hiking, they came back and they're back in the shelter now? Is that what they were talking about? Or is she just thinking back while they're actually still in the mountains about the shelter? Either way, this is the shelter. And it looks like it's just Airi and Yoko. And a lot of tech. They gave me more food. Who are they? They. It's they. I mean, you're eating some hot dogs and some good-looking food too. Inside the smartphone. There's a world that's way more vast inside this smartphone. Wow, look at this window. Wow, I can't get off this. This is This episode's gonna take me a while to get through. First, it's a mirror.
やばいやばい
And then it turns into a window. Is that the technology that we're dealing with here? And now what? They have to go to school?
おはよう、ようこ。なんでバレたの？
Lesson
お
time.
姉ちゃんは何でもお見通し。さあ、今日も授業を始めましょう。はーい。
Look at this room. You have a bicycle. Are they able to ride the bicycle? It's like a BMX bike. The ones that you can do tricks or something on. And then you have Twister. With a bunch of like garbage everywhere. This is such a crazy mix of random wires and cables with old school kids' room vibes, not picking up your trash, like some sort of records or something here. Random drawings of dinosaurs on the wall. Then you've got the penguin and the rainbow, and then this weird coloring thing. This is like what looks like a 6th grader coloring class. And then you have this tech here that's way beyond. I mean, kind of looks like a TV, but you can tell it's just high class. Okay. First period is math. Their class. Happy first day at school.
私たちも考えているの。僕も T-Rex 飼ってみたいな。陽子は映画だと最初に食われるやつ。
The combination of what's going on in the shelter is crazy. You have all this junk and stuff everywhere, and then you have this touchscreen iris security door into this clear white room, which is kind of similar to the room that they went in when they got examined. And then this is like PE time with no graffiti written on the wall, which is literally graffiti. Farming. Okay. Animal husbandry practical training. So you have math, then you have farming, then you have animal husbandry. I feel like I'm playing Civ 6. I played Civ 6 for a little bit, and animal husbandry is one of the first things that you can level up in your civilization, along with farming. Oh, okay. VR. So they're not actually, the white room is the VR room. So were they actually harvesting crops then? Okay. So they were actually still on the mountain, and they were thinking back upon the time in the shelter. Back then, I never thought those classes would come in handy. I mean, PE, obviously agriculture, learning how to fish and hunt, and learning about the world. Math, your math skills can be repairing your Cero, mechanical skills. And obviously she knows tech as well, because she did the computer repair at the broadcast station and setting up all the solar panels to set up the loudspeaker system so that people could hear. Instead of picking up on the radio waves, they set up the sound system. Did you have a choice to take them? Aren't you glad we took them now? Could you have taken something else? This is so interesting. So out of the blue that day. She's asking them to go out and experience life. You can leave anytime and go outside the shelter. Cero to the rescue. The goat. Yoko does have that hair clip. Time to go outside. That's gotta be interesting, the first time you're stepping outside.
私たちの分までどこまでもそれじゃあお姉ちゃん行ってきます。行ってきます。
This is a fantastic, this is what I was looking for. It's literally just like that other shelter.
空が想像の何倍も高くって風が気持ちよくて、僕はもう憧れてた外の世界じゃなくてこの世界が見たいんだと思う。世界って本当に美しいね。この美しい世界をどこまでも。
Alright, that was a fantastic episode. It looked like that was the end of season 1. We didn't answer the question of what actually happened during the apocalypse. I could see why they want to kind of skirt around that. But we did learn more about the shelter that they were in. And I would say just for this episode, I did have a little bit of trouble trying to figure out what was the present time and what was the past when they were living in the shelter and when they were actually on the mountain. But honestly, it doesn't really matter because at some point that's what happened. And you know that this is what happened when they were in the shelter. They didn't show anyone else living in the shelter. So it looks like it was just Yoko and Airi in the shelter, and sometime later in their life, you know, when they were 14, 15, 16, or, you know, even 10, they started taking these classes with her sister, Yoko's sister, as the instructor. And you could see in different periods. I remember for me growing up, and I'm not sure how school is now, but when I was in 7th and 8th grade, and also all through high school as well, which would be, you know, 12 to 18 years of age, that was when you started to separate periods. You had first period was math, second period was science, third period was English, and that's kind of what they were showing here, where they had PE, they had agriculture, they had animal husbandry, and they had mechanics, and these are basically skills that Yoko's sister was trying to teach them to have them be able to live in the outside world. Now, I still, even though I answered quite a few questions, and I'm really happy about how this season went, you still have a lot of other questions unanswered. Where were the rest of the adults? Were they born in the shelter? Or what happened to their parents? Who was taking care of them when they were 1 month old? Where did those people go? What happened to them? Where are they now? So I'm really happy that it answered a lot of these questions, but it also brought up more questions to be answered. And I think this is a fantastic show. I'm really wondering how many people are actually watching this show. I feel like not a lot of people are talking about this show, and it's kind of slipping under the radar. There's so many good directions that this show could go in, and I'm wondering if the author has written anything else, other possible shows that I might be familiar with, because it gives me the vibe of quite a few other slice of life shows that kind of capture this same experience. And I heard there's a manga. Thanks for telling me about that. That is fantastic. It seems like it's still ongoing. And so hopefully we can get some viewership here to possibly get a season 2. That would be fantastic. I really love this show. I think, again, this show is slipping under the radar, and really great slice of life show. Ultimately is what it comes down to. It's learning about the certain histories of Japan and tourist attractions that you can go to and things that would make you want to go visit Japan, as well as a little exploration and a little mystery of who Airi and Yoko actually are. Those are still questions I do have. And what actually did happen during the apocalypse? Are there more people around? Or are these two the last people left on the planet? And we see that Airi was a cyborg. She did need some maintenance, and I'm still wondering who Yoko really is. she could be a human. She could be a cyborg as well. Maybe a futuristic cyborg, kind of like a more advanced cyborg with human emotions. And I'm really wondering about Yoko's sister. Is she still alive? Or is her spirit planted in Yoko? Or is her spirit planted in Airi, like we saw with Ichiro? This is just such a fantastic show on so many levels. And I hope it gets popularity. I'm hoping that it continues because this is a great show. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think in the comments below. And thanks for watching and being on this journey with me. Bye.